Hello viewers, so today we'll be discussing mental health, particularly for the adolescents. I know we've all been through that phase in life, and I know we interact with an adolescent somewhere. And who is an adolescent? An adolescent is anyone aged between the age of 10 and 19. And when I say that, I believe every household has had these in their house, and sometimes we just don't understand them. This is a period when there is rapid development of the brain, and these children are actually trying to discover who they are. They're trying to form their own identity, develop their own preferences. They're in between childhood and adulthood, so they are not children and they're not adults. And during this phase, they also are going through regulating their emotions, because their bodies are producing certain hormones that make them start to feel a certain way. As a parent of an adolescent and someone having been as an adolescent, I feel that this is an important topic to discuss, issues to do with mental health, and particularly because we are seeing a surge or an increase in adolescents who have mental health challenges, and also those who are committing suicide in different ways. So as somebody who has this person in your household, you need to understand that they too, much as seemingly they are young and we take them as children, that they do get these challenges. They are prone, like I said, it's a season of emotional regulation, learning how to manage their emotions. So they go through outbursts of anger, they go through periods of depression or low mood. They might go through highs, what may seem like they're manic, that's the high end. They might even go through an identity crisis of sorts because they're trying to find who they are. So we need to understand them, and we need to support them, find a support system for them. How do we do this? It might require seeking services of a professional, of a counselor. It might require sitting down with them and asking them how do they feel. Try and understand how they feel. Let them explain to you why they think they feel the way they do, and have a candid discussion with them, being an adult and having gone through the phase, and talk to them about what life as an adolescent can be. Tell them the good things that can come out of it, and also support them to avoid the negative things that could happen to them. In the process of finding out their identity, they might want to compare with peers. In this era of social media, the chances of comparing themselves even more with peers is actually high, and sometimes they have body shaming because what they see on social media is seemingly to them better than who they are. They need to appreciate, you need to help them appreciate that they're wonderfully and fearfully made, and their body image is okay, and life can go on. They might experience what we call cyberbullying while they're online, on the different sites that they might visit. They might encounter the wrong people who will reach out to them, who will connect with them on social media, and eventually it might result in bullying. They might learn the wrong practices. They might get into pornography and get addicted. They might learn how to use certain substances. So there are so many dangers that they could be exposed to that might harm their mental health. They might become alcoholics, and we know what alcohol does to the mind. So it is a season. Let's appreciate that adolescents also go through mental health challenges. They need our support as adults. They need us to recognize that they are struggling. Let us not overlook and say there is no way a child or an adolescent could actually be going through mental health challenges, because they actually do. And if we do not identify it early, these are the kind of children that we lose either to suicide, or we will lose them to these other vices that I've mentioned that are actually harmful to them. Some of the risk factors that put adolescents at risk of mental health challenges that we haven't mentioned are sometimes the environment in which they are. If they're in an environment that is socially isolating, if they are in an environment where they witness domestic violence happening at home, if they are in a school environment that enhances or permits segregation of sorts based on social status or class, if they're in a school that recognizes there is bullying and they allow it to keep on happening, if they are in an environment where parents are absent or absent parenting, or where they feel that they are not being loved or not being listened to, all these are risk factors for developing mental health challenges. If they are in an environment or a home that permits use of substances, sometimes as parents we do not appreciate that when we, for instance, use alcohol, or if we're smoking as adults, we are actually indirectly saying we are permitting it, and yet when they use these substances, they're actually going to affect their mental health in one way or the other. So let's also work on the environment that we're in. Let's work on the relationships that we have with them, so that we can avoid the risk factors that would actually cause them or push them to get a mental health challenge.